The last thing I want to talk about is Gunvein. I just wanted to do like a little bit of a review of this game. Gunvein here. I'm going to start off here with the character screen. So this has 3 different characters to play. Gunvein basically is a shoot 'em up, a vertical scrolling shooter in a bullet hell kind of style, or bullet curtain, whatever you want to call it. You'll see when the gameplay hits. One of the unique things about this game is that it has very unique characters. Like Toho will have characters that play a little bit different, like their shot types different, their bombs slightly different. But this game actually has special shots that, and stats in terms of the bullet power that really change how the characters play. And more than any other shmup that I played, they play differently and at different ranges. Because as you can see, I'm like locking. You can see the lock on happening. This character has like a really long range and very powerful bombs, so she can like hang back while you play. Meanwhile, like Lizzie is really short range because of their special weapon. I don't have footage of her, but so they play very dramatically different in terms of how the ranges and how aggressive you play. But it's very nice. The presentation here, I think, is quite good. It's crisp graphics. I mean, one of the things that it gets criticized for is its graphics, because they're kind of boring. They're crisp. They're well defined, but the 3D just doesn't hit the same. A lot of like shmup players are like kind of have that retro. They like I don't know. I'm like one of them. I really like the pixels and like that vibe of like the old school shooters. So this doesn't hit quite the same. But I mean, it looks clear. The bullets in this game are just the easiest to see bullets I've ever had in a shmup. Which at my age, I really like. The effects, and there's some cool effects in the game too. The more I've played it, the more it's kind of grown on me. But when you first play it, my immediate impression is like, this looks kind of boring. But they definitely do grow on you, and I'd really like how fundamentally solid this game is with its graphics. And like you have stuff like this, like you could see right here. Here's the boss of the stage, and I always love when like stages tell a story in the background, because right here you can see the boss flying out to intercept you. That's super cool. Just something about that I always like when games do that. When the backdrop is kind of telling a story. Of course, it's hard to pay attention while like a million things are shooting at you, but as you play it several times, you start to notice a new thing each time, which is very cool. And speaking of like story, there really isn't a story, which again is kind of a good thing. I don't want to see like animations or cutscenes. I just want to play a video game and dodge bullets and shoot stuff. So this is what this game delivers, just straight up gameplay. Fast and furious. This is on mild, but even now the bullet pattern is still pretty exciting. And then the gameplay itself, like I mentioned, the bullets are the most visible bullets I've ever seen. And the speed of the bullets is actually fairly slow. I mean, even in patterns like this, I mean, you see how dense this is, and you got to kind of squeeze into it. But the bullets themselves aren't moving very fast. I end up getting hit anyway. So you can react to them. Again, I'm older. My reaction speed isn't what it used to be when I was like 20 years old. So I like that. And it kind of gives you the ability to kind of play in the bullets themselves and kind of dodge around them. Like if you see a bullet come through, you can pull back as fast as you can and manage to like avoid it. Right here, you see like, I love this effect they have. The way it phases in with like 4 or 5 different colors. The ship itself looks pretty cool, but with these patterns, this has like my favorite bullet patterns in the game. I think that's one of the highlights of the game is the bullet patterns are really interesting and fun. And even on mild, I thought that was pretty... It's tough enough to make it a challenge to complete. And I have to bomb a few of them. This, and then he kind of like changes it up. Like this is a lot more dense. You have to kind of squeeze in this little spot while dodging these bullets. It's a very test of skill, and this is my favorite pattern because like when you look at this pattern like at its front, you're like, there's no way to dodge this. Look at how dense it is, but this sort of like the petals of this like flowery type of a pattern, they're gonna invert and become thin, so you could kind of fit in between these petals that are coming out. And it makes it really fun. You're like, holy shit, how did I get through this pattern? But there's space to do it. And he does a kind of a good job. I was reading and listening to an interview with it. And he likes to kind of like switch it up, where like it's very like dense pattern, and then like a more open pattern. That way you kind of throw off your tempo. The fourth boss is definitely my favorite. And also has like the favorite patterns, but they're also, this is the boss I hate the most though. This is the third boss, and while most shoot 'em ups, the boss kind of takes the top part of the stage. This boss, the developer kind of challenges you by taking different parts of the screen and making you dodge in kind of awkward positions. Like here, I have to go to the top to dodge it. Now I have to go back to the bottom. Now I'm gonna have to try to shoot him while dodging like in different areas. It's one of the more difficult bosses, and it's like the stage 3 boss, so it's kind of the filter boss of the game. While stage 1 and 2 are manageable, this boss definitely sucks. So I got hit there. I could have dodged it. And then I've gotten hit multiple times as he just like takes up the center and shoots out a bunch of bullets. You get like kind of forced to the side. And this pattern sucks. It's just super dense and got stuff coming from everywhere. And this is his final pattern, which you have to go around 360 degrees around him while dodging this. It's wild. It just kind of like tests how comfortable you are at going all the way around the screen, which I don't like, but at the same time, it's kind of intense, and it challenges just how well you can control in all areas of the screen. Because I noticed, especially as like a beginner, I was like, I like to really, and I don't know about other people, but like I like to really stay at the bottom and hide and like wait for the bullets to come to me. The fact that he just like forces you out of the bottom and makes you kind of dodge is a cool idea. It's it's supposed to like challenge your skills here. So that just stuff like that is like good details that I really enjoy. And if you look at the other thing is that it's a really unique kind of way to have resource management. If you look here, like at the top, you only get three lives that you can build up at one time. If you get a fourth one, you also get a shield, and you only get 3 bombs at a point. So you can't stockpile resources at all. But the idea is you can't stockpile, so you can't use all of your resources at like the final level. At the same time, though, like if you're in a bad way, you can recover. So like I didn't do too well. Like at the end of this third boss, I was at like 1 life and 2 bombs. I'm like, man, this run is not going well. But as you can see here, like as I'm in the 5th stage, I've already gotten up to 2 lives, and I'm trying to regain my bombs. All you got to do is collect a few, these fragments, 10 fragments, and you get a bomb. So you can build them up pretty quick, because like they come pretty fast. So even if you're in a bad spot, if you play well enough, you can recover from it. So it's a cool like push and pull in this game in terms of resources. You're not done until you're done, which I like. You got these dense patterns here, but I'm just getting bomb and bomb and bomb. And I think I eventually get a life here that ends up dropping. So I end up going into the, I'm going to the last boss with like full life. And I end up dying there immediately. I'm like, oh crap. This sucks. At least, I didn't find at least on mild, the final boss's patterns, I don't find as bad, but I get a life up here, which is awesome. Like, that was clutch. I'm like, alright, I got this now. There's no way I'm dying this much to the last boss. This pattern's wild. Blue Revolver does it too. But, like, the fact that you have bullets coming in from the back, and he also shoots bullets in from the front after he sucks them in, which makes them slightly different. I end up dying to that. So you have to, like, look at two different areas at the same time. It's a really, really wicked pattern. And, like, the way these things curve is really annoying. But, this pattern isn't too bad. You just kind of, like, move to the side. There's a lot of open space on mild. It's pretty easy. But I said a bomb anyway, because why not? I gotta use them. This one's cool. It's really dense, and I don't know how I dodge all of it. You have to dodge this dense pattern while staying within the lines. You have to calculate the way these lines are going to bounce off and find a way through the stuff coming down. But it's pretty cool. The fact that I'm sort of kind of surprised I didn't die there at all. That's the 1cc. And I like the fact that it shows the gold 1cc after you do it, so you can brag to your friends like, yeah, I did it. So guys, that is it for Gunvein. Overall, just a really solid video game. Shoot 'em up. Like it just does. It seemed like it really wanted to make people help understand, the fundamentals, kind of push them to play aggressively with its bomb system and its life system. There's just a lot of interesting stuff going on with the game that kind of makes it different. It's like familiar enough because like the fundamentals are there. It doesn't do anything crazy stuff with like, options like flying around your ship or power-ups or RPG mechanics or freaking swords on the ship itself or some like Ikaruga chaining. It's like very straightforward in a lot of ways, but does some cool stuff. I like the kind of, at this point, I like the straightforward stuff. Like, hey, here's your bullets, dodge the bullets. You don't need to like absorb them or graze them or that kind of stuff. It's just, hey, they're fairly slow. They're not tricky or hard to see. So fundamentally, it's just really pleasant to play. I don't need to like have these weird stuff in mind. But it also like, I haven't like really, I've only played it in mild, so I haven't dived into the like complex mechanics of the game. Like I never used a hyper, which is another thing that you can do. And obviously as the game gets more difficult, it kind of pushes you to explore that stuff more and more. So I think there's just a lot of depth there as well. Overall fun game. And I think it's not that expensive. It's only, I don't think it is. Oh no, it is for the Steam sale. That's normally $17.99. It's 40% off right now for the winter sale for $10.79. That's pretty cool. So it's a fun game for again, very cheap, under $20. Or you wait to a sale and get it for about $10. Awesome. An awesome game for a very reasonable price. So if you like these kind of arcade shoot 'em ups, I definitely recommend it. A lot of good stuff going on. So that is the review. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you later.